Hello everyone and welcome to a new campaign in MEIOU&Taxes 2.0 point, what are we on now, 2? Something like that. 9th patch, MEIOU&Taxes, let's do this thing. This is of course EU4, EU4, my lord. MEIOU&Taxes influence is spreading far and wide. MEIOU&Taxes, fantastic mod for this game, which adds pops and a whole host of other things. So, we're going to play as Brandenburg in the HRE, and my plan is to try and generate Space Marines. I've never really gone hard on military ideas in MEIOU&Taxes. I think it could be fun to play a game and see what we can do to establish Space Marines. We've already got quality ideas, nice. Didn't know about that. So let's take stock of our initial situation. We are Brandenburg. We are an elector. We are an elector of the HRE, so we might be able to make ourselves become emperor. I don't have any specific, intense desire to rule the Sea of Crowns, which is how I affectionately refer to the HRE in MEIOU&Taxes, with all of these many capitals all over the place. We're not going to do like a super conquest campaign. We're not looking to take over a massive amount. It's pretty freaking challenging to do in this mod anyway. I am looking to try and build Space Marines, so we'll probably want to reform into Prussia at some point, which is something that we have at our disposal. We can form Prussia. We gain a core on the Prussia region. That's pretty nice, and a permanent claim, and we become a kingdom, more absolutism, all that kind of stuff, and a possibility to change national ideas. That's good. We'll have to make sure that we look into the ideas. To do that, we need to get. Oh, it's actually pretty simple. All we have to do is own, or have a subject own, in the East Prussian area at least, or West and East Prussian area, at least 10 provinces, and then core at least 6 of them. And then we can just form Prussia. Wow, that's really easy. I mean, when I say really easy, we do have to like get over here. Hang on, my phone is buzzing. Where is that? There it is. Let me put that under silent. I think it is already on silence. Let me put it slightly further away from the microphone. Hopefully that wasn't too annoying. So, West and East Prussia are these two. I'm trying to zoom out enough that it puts the names on them. Yeah, that's East Prussia. Sorry, that's West Prussia and that's East Prussia. Okay, so basically if we can kill the Teutons, we can form Prussia. Wow, that's much sooner than I thought. That's very cool. Do we leave the HRE if we do this? We don't. Fantastic. If we form the German nation, we break out the HRE. I think forming the German nation is something I probably want to go for in the very long term. But wait, what's that? One of the following must be true. Less than 1 member of the HRE, or at least 1 member, but less than 2. So if there's no members of the HRE, 1 member of the HRE, or we're the emperor, then we're allowed to form the German nation. Presumably, yeah, we get break out of the Holy Roman Empire even if we are the HRE, even if we are the emperor. That's funny. I guess we can just re-add ourselves though. But we can form it at 50 even if we're not the emperor. That's good to know. So in order to form Germany, we're going to need to either exterminate the entire HRE or destroy the HRE, which is, you know, it's a tempting option. Actually destroying the HRE could be a fun late game challenge. The Reformation is something that we haven't yet experienced in my campaigns of MEIOU&Taxes, so that would be a good fun thing. Obviously, we're being in northern Germany, we're going to be heavily influenced by the tides of Reformation that will break over the Catholic Church as the world tires of their what would be the word? Corruption. General lack of reform. The AI never pushes the liberal reforms through that you can in this mod, so we will definitely see a big Reformation, I hope. What else? Right, let's just take stock of our ideas. Before we do that, actually, just on the kind of style of this campaign, I'm not going to go through absolutely everything that makes M&T the wonderful, fantastic, phenomenal mod that it is. You should definitely try it out for yourself. I have some other campaigns when I play it where I was less knowledgeable, but I do kind of try and go through stuff as we go along, you know, trying to understand things and talking through everything about it. I'm sure I will still talk through lots of mechanics, but I'm not going to explain absolutely everything as we go along. If there's something that I don't explain and you want me to explain, put a comment. I will do my best. I'm not an expert, but I've played a fair amount of M&T now, so I'm getting better. But I'm not. I'm definitely not an expert. So our national ideas. First off, we have the authoritarian family. As that red text in the tooltip mentions, this is not actually a national idea. This is the effect of the primary culture that we have. Each culture has a different type of family system. which gives different bonuses. So R1, the authoritarian family, and I think I don't know if how is the culture group scenario? All right, we're Low Germanic culture, and then to our east there is, what was that? West. Sorry, no, we're Low Germanic, and then over here there's West Slavic, and then it's Low Germanic again over here in part of Prussia. And then there's Baltic up there. Okay, cool. So we're going to have some culture issues. I believe I was reading in the patch notes of the latest patch of MEIOU&Taxes. I think they have increased the unrest from wrong culture. So how are we doing here? Only 2, but there are also events based on having wrong culture. So that'll be interesting. We'll see what we can do. We might accept the culture. We might also try and change it. There is over time culture changing in this mod, which we can talk about. Maybe in a bit. Anyway, yeah, so if we change, the result of all that diatribe is that if we changed our primary culture, we would change which familial system we were. So if we move to being, but yes, I bring it up, maybe everyone in each culture group has the same family, but they don't. No, they don't, because the Andalusians have a different family system than the Castilians, I think. Anyhow, let's take a look at what family we do have. I think this is a really good one. 2.5 discipline, amazing. If you're just coming at this from base EU4, or because you watch me play Hoi or something, that may not seem like a great deal to you, but plus 2.5 discipline is really important. In MEIOU&Taxes, all of the things that grant discipline are heavily nerfed. I don't think there is anything that grants 5% discipline. They're all reduced down to 2.5. So any discipline can get hands on is fantastic. Global institution spread, that's going to be very useful, especially up here in northern Germany. It's really hard to get institutions to spread up here. To try and, go against that, we're probably going to try and build some very nice artful cities, meaning we're going to produce a lot of art power in our cities to get these institutions to really spread up here. Embracement cost on institutions down, that's fine. 5% is not a huge amount, but, money is vitally important in this mod, much more important than vanilla, so yeah, that'll be useful. Stability increase threshold minus 10%. That's great. That's very useful. Number of accepted cultures minus 1. Not a huge deal, in my opinion, because culture spread rate is decreased by a factor of 10, I think, when you accept a culture. If you're very accepting of a culture, I think they basically never switch to your culture. The factors for having them switch, by the way, they have to neighbor something which is of your primary culture or of an accepted culture, and then there's just a certain amount of time. I think I can see it. There we go. Culture conversion progress on this province is at 50% right now. And if you press, interestingly, why can I may have more information on this, what this all data means? The game just says no. Never understood that. Anyway, back to the ideas. Trade range was 20%. I mean, it's okay. We might be able to use our... Have they removed it? Oh, thank God. Thank you, M&T developers. They used to be very, very not right, very unintelligently. There used to be a symbol on every single city showing how many urban pops it had, and it just made the trade map lag like crazy. It looks still lagging a bit, because obviously, trade and M&T, it's a pretty complicated setup they've got here. But, oh, thank goodness. I'm so glad they've got rid of that. That's a really, really good change. It may be that they haven't got rid of it. It's going to come back as soon as we let everything calculate, because the first few months in M&T, it grinds a bit while it calculates everything. But yeah, it looks like there's not that. That's fantastic. Right, so trade ideas, yeah, it's okay. 20% trade range. It means we'll be able to pull money up here from slightly further away. I think we're probably going to try and dominate the Hansa node. It's going to be a long task. We won't be able to do that quickly. Seizing important trade cities like Lübeck and Hamburg are going to be essential for that. We might want to try and cut our way up towards Lübeck and Hamburg early. They don't start out as huge trading cities, but they certainly become it. And Lübeck, especially early on, I think we want to crush them. Because they're an imperial city, but they do stop being an imperial city fairly quickly, I believe, by event and start doing trading republic stuff and stealing all our money. And we can't have that. We need a nice solid economy on which to back our glorious Prussian Brandenburgian Space Marines. Next up, we have the Land of the Mercenaries. Now, this is, I'm conflicted over this one because we're probably not going to use many mercenaries because mercenaries affect army professionalism. negatively. Every time you recruit one, it hurts your army professionalism. They're also pretty expensive, although they are less expensive in MEIOU&Taxes than the base game. If you look, they have double maintenance, but their actual hiring cost is quite a bit lower. And, you know, double maintenance is not terrible. We actually start out with 5% army professionalism. That's quite nice. They've buffed army professionalism in recent patches of M&T. It looks like we get 0.4 discipline per 5%. That's an interesting number. What does that mean we're going to get then? Let me, yes. When playing M&T, I think it's going to be a very good idea to have a calculator up on my other monitor. Seems like a good step. All right, 5. So 0.4 times 20. We can get 8 discipline if we can get up to 100% army professionalism. That would be so good. But those mercenary maintenance ones and available mercenary ones will go down as we get more army professionalism. And every merc you train kills 0.25 army professionalism. You get army professionalism by training generals. I might want to get one from my estates rather than actually recruiting one. No, I think I can get away with recruiting one. We've got a very nice leader. His heir is... I'm not sure about you, Otto. I'm only 25. I might want to disinherit this fine gentleman. We'd have very low prestige, which would be a pain. Lots of lovely things come from prestige, but... yeah, I think Otto might have to go. We'll also get uncertain succession, which will make our legitimacy go down even quicker than it currently is, which is not ideal. But I don't know, Otto. You're just not up to scratch, I think. Okay, returning to the ideas. It does give us 2.5 infantry compatibility, which is fantastic. So I can't complain about that. But the mercenary mercenary discipline and the available mercenaries. This is one of the only songs I don't like in the whole soundtrack. It's probably not going to make a huge amount of use of that. This, so good. 20% production efficiency is fantastic. Production is more important than just making money in this mod. You can also, it helps you build urban trade goods. Where's going to have, Prague probably has some urban trade goods. Yeah, they're making glassware down here. And the amount of glassware you make helps not only your production income, but also the trade value of the area. And it gives you can get bonuses when you have lots of production per population, all that kind of cool stuff. Next up, fort maintenance, fort defense. Not fantastically useful. I don't tend to use many forts. Maybe in this game I will find myself using forts. If we're going to be really aggressive, we might get lots of aggressive expansion. If we're going to be going Space Marines, we might be able to make some good use out of forts. Christianization. Missionary strength and tolerance to the true faith. The missionary strength is nice. We'll want to be trying to convert, I don't know if we're going to go Protestant, Reformed, stay Catholic. We could go, what's it called? Calanixine? The Cathar heresies. Are they Cathars? The ones that rise up in Prague? I think it's Calathixine, something like that. We might want to go with them. We'll probably go Protestant, maybe Reformed. We'll think about it, and I'll take feedback as we get closer to the Reformation. There's all kinds of cool events that can happen with them, and because we're so far from the Pope, we're going to really struggle to produce any papal influence. Once the game does all its initial calculations, it'll tell us that we have... we're very far from the Pope, so we get very little papal influence. We can't play around with all these buttons very much. And going Protestant would be fun just from an empire mechanic point of view, because it means we can fight in league wars and all that kind of awesome stuff. The 30 Years' War? Yeah, 30 Years' War and all that kind of thing. Tolerance of True Faith, fantastic. That's going to be very useful. Just -1 unrest in all our True Faith provinces. It's always lovely. The Electorate of Brandenburg. Plus 0.1 yearly prestige, plus 0.5 Diplo rep, and plus 0.1 yearly legitimacy. These are great. Especially the Diplo rep and the legitimacy. Legitimacy in this game ticks down to 75? 50? I'm not certain. But like with many other things, so in the base game, prestige ticks down to 0. And then the decay rate pushes it towards 0. And... in MEIOU&Taxes, they added in that mechanic for lots of other stuff, including legitimacy, which just ticks to, I think it ticks to 50 as a base. And so anything we can get to increase it. So for example, it ticks down by 0.45 every year. That means if we can get another 0.5 legitimacy every year, then we'll have it, rather than ticking down to 50, it'll tick down to whatever, 55, 56, something like that. So essentially, by increasing the amount we get per year, we can increase the resting point, which is very useful. The prestige is nice. Prestige is quite important. It does do morale of armies. It does give you global trade power, diplo rep. Also, it gives you aggressive expansion and improved relations, both of which will be very valuable. Improved relations, basically, because it will decrease our aggressive expansion over time. Okay, is that enough setup? Shall I stay on pause for a few more hours while we get everything set up, look around? Rivaling people-wise, we could rival Poland and Meissen. Bohemia begins friendly, but won't take an alliance, because they have too many diplo relations in the form of all their vassals. Let's make certain that we set our provinces, countries of special interest. Looks like they were all already set. We do have a core on them, and it's a nice province. It's got some urban pop. It's got some buildings. But Bohemia is the emperor. They're extremely strong. Early game, I think it's best that we try and stay sweet with them. So even though we can't ally them, I may start... Oh dear, Poland doesn't like us. we may have some problems. We'll see what we can do to... maybe we can go against Poland early, especially if Hungary would help us. Did it say you're rival to Poland? Hungary? No, you're rival to the Teutons. Yeah, we really don't want Poland to get land in the Teutonic Order, because we want to take the Teutonic Order. So the question becomes, do we want to first focus east or west? I think the first thing I'm going to do is take this mission to conquer Magdeburg, because it gives us a territorial core, which is excellent for avoiding unlawful territory. Which is, if you don't know, is when you hold land in the Empire. Just to be clear, the Empire I'm talking about is the Holy Roman Empire, which comprises all of this land here. The hatched area is areas that are not controlled by a prince, or who are controlled by, or areas that are controlled by a prince, but whose prince is in fact controlled by a non-prince. That hurts imperial authority, which is this number here. We support reforms, because they give the members bonuses as well as the emperors, so I think we support some reforms. It's very unlikely the AI will be able to pass too many reforms. But they pass more than base game, usually. So yeah, we're going to conquer Magdeburg. Gives us a free claim, gives us a core once we take it, so I think that seems pretty good. Alright, we don't want to have that special interest or that. We want to promote religious tolerance? Probably not. Oh, wow. They've changed this. Wow, that sucks now. Alright, so promoting religious tolerance gives you 20 secularism, and you get policy of tolerance, plus 10% stability increase interval, to minus 2% missionary strength, plus minus 1 tolerance to the true faith, plus 1 tolerance of heretics and heathens. That's terrible now. It used to be much better than that. It used to get less stability increase interval. Haven't got states yet, so I can't really demonstrate what stability increase interval actually means. We don't need any religious options. Don't need to hide cultural decisions, don't need to hide utility. Don't need to do that. I want to know if we can ever do any of these. Pope probably won't give us it. Oh no, it's not right. When the HRE, you don't request it from the Pope, we request it from Bohemia. I think they have to have more than 100 opinion or something to actually say yes. Germanize our cities' names. Cool. Right, this is one where you can promote... I don't know how you say this. Ostsiedlung or something, which means like emigration east or something like that. So you can basically encourage your German culture guys to settle in the Slavic areas, presumably with some rather unpleasant, getting rid of the Slavs in the area, which is not ideal. But what that does is rapidly, dramatically increases the rate at which you get culture conversions in those areas, which is very useful. Non-correct culture provinces have far higher chances to spawn random unrest and all that kind of thing. Okay, yeah, Meissen seems like a worthy opponent in the early game. They're to our south. They are an elector, or they control an elector or something. We have Thuringia as a lesser partner. Thuringia is not an elector. I think they normally get a PU over Saxony, and then they get the elector title off them by event. Something like that. Maybe we'll ally Saxony to try and stop that from happening. That's us. So we are currently, our international influence is minor, which means we can only have one alliance. Insignificant and minor, insignificant being less than 50 pop, I guess. It doesn't actually show that on there. It should probably be shown. Until we're up to 200 pop, we can only have one alliance. Once we get to average and major, we can have 2, 3 for significant, and 4 for hegemonic, which if we get up to 6,000 pop. That's very unlikely unless we form, if we actually form Germany, that might happen. So yeah, I think we're going to rival Meissen, seems fine. And, you know, Poland. How do you feel about Poland, Bohemia? Are you going to ally Poland? I never have opinion map mode set. They're not big fans. They desire provinces. Bohemia loves Poland because of Casimir III of Poland. Okay, I guess they have some kind of connection via marriage or something. It's PS and Luxembourg. It's not actually the same. But, yeah, we'll see, we'll see. All right, we're making 2.41, but that's not representative because the estates haven't spawned. We probably have 100% autonomy everywhere. No? No, sorry, I meant 0, but we actually don't. That's fine. Well, we'll let everything... we'll let the first few months... first year, really, tick through before we actually unpause. MEIOU&Taxes 2 is an EU4 total conversion mod. Yes, it is. Okay, additional tags and formable nations. So I think... Do we want more tags? I don't think adding tags actually slows it down. So there really doesn't seem like any harm. I won't want to form any of these. You know, I could form the Roman Empire, of course, but, you know, I've done that too many times. So maybe we just shouldn't add the tags. Because there's a possibility that they do slow it down. So I feel like there's no need to add more tags. Going to humiliate rival. Okay, yes, so there are the isolate native nations. So in, like, the Central Africa and North American area, we can put in some nations that were there historically, but they really won't affect our game almost at all. Because I have no intention of colonizing the North or Africa, so it really doesn't matter. So we're going to go with neither of them, just to try and speed up the game. The game does run fairly slowly a lot of the time. Let's go straight away and embargo Meissen, get some power projection ticking up, which gives legitimacy, so, you know, every little bit helps. We do need to pick an early ally, and I probably should have done it already, because now pretty much everyone will probably have found an ally who was willing to ally them right off. There are some people to ally here. I mean, they all seem real weak. Oh, I was really hoping Saxony wouldn't get an alliance until I was able to do it. Apparently our relation towards them is hostile. No. We're going to be friendly with the Emperor, at least for now. A royal marriage. We have 3 Diplo relations to play with. Only 3? Wow. 3 Diplo relations to play with. I think we should definitely marry Bohemia. If we could get our dynasty on their throne, that would be ideal, both for future relations and for potential, you know, personal union action going on later. Excellent vintage. Nice. We have a new Electress. I think I am going to disinherit. Because he's so bad. He's so far below average. 9 points is average. Or is 10 points average. I think it might be 10 points. I'm going to disinherit you. So we're going to have very bad prestige, which does suck. But now at least it's, you know, it's decaying positive. And obviously, you know, if we die, Bohemia gets us. So we'll hope that won't happen. We can... No, I don't understand this requesting annulment thing. Because I think it's just to avoid... Well, it doesn't help avoid a personal union. No, it does help avoid a personal union. So that's basically a way of breaking our royal ties without losing stability. Okay. Never mind. I do understand this annulment thing, in fact. We could take some policies. Let's let the estate spawn, and then I'll talk about how stability works. Our Electress is now suspicious. And yes, there's that minus 0.5 yearly stability, which does hurt. God, so does prestige. That hurts quite badly. Startup initialization incoming. There'll be some major lag for the first couple of years. It's a big mod and requires some initialization steps. Trust me, it'll be fine. That's okay. Wittelsbach rule... Wittelsbach? Let's go with Wittelsbach. Wittelsbach rule in Brandenburg. The Wittelsbach nominally rule in Brandenburg and claim the title of Elector, but they have little interest in the affairs of Berlin. This has hardly ingratiated them with the nobility of our country. Oh, God. That seems bad. I thought we just had a whole pop-up about how things were going quite well with our new rule. We lose 2 stability. Bavarian becomes a new primary culture. Bavarian? What? Bavarian? So I guess someone from down here. Yeah. Someone from this, you know, soon-to-be Who's the elector that's formed down here? What are they called in the base game? Can't remember. Palatinate? Is it the Palatinate? Anyway, these darn Bavarian Wittelsbachs apparently own our land, which is causing some unrest. We get -3 max projected cultures, and we currently have 0 accepted culture provinces. Fantastic. That probably means all that nice cultural progress, when it actually recalculates, being made in this province is going to get undone, because East Elben is no longer our primary culture. Man, that sucks. Oh no, that might also change us away from being an authoritarian family. Here we can check. Author discipline. No, Bavarian is also an authoritarian family. Good. We can appropriate church property because we have stability less than -1. Well, that could be good. Church influence is pretty high right now, about 55%. So church influence is a measure of how much of the land in the realm the church owns, and it tends to creep up over time. If we can bring it down a bit, that would be good, because not much here is very useful. The state unrest is nice, but apart from that, you know, it's mostly just negative. They do contribute to spending on education, though. In terms of piety, we may wish to go pious in this game. I very rarely go pious, but we may wish to go pious for that morale of armies, stability increase. Yeah, I think we're probably going to try and go pious, which means we probably won't take things like humanist ideas. I don't know, like diplomatic ideas being impious seems strange. Some of the religious ideas can be really strong. Yeah, let's try appropriating some church property. Let's see. Has it calculated our distance from the papacy thing? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, distance from the Vatican is meaning we have a negative amount per year. So I might as well spend it. Send a papal legate? Sure, give me a random advisor. Yes, that stability hurts. Let's see when it actually calculates the estates. Don't worry if it lags out quite a bit in this this initial stage. It's entirely normal. The Catholic faith. Until it was supplanted by nationalism in the 19th century, religion was the driving force of the world. Although nation-states formed in this era, the roots of nationalism were usually found in religion. Even a small heresy could spill over into revolution unless contained and corrected. Study all religions, great and small. I want to get lots of nice, fun pop-ups. So we asked for an experienced bishop. He's 50% off, so we may want to hire him at some point. Awesome. Awesome. We are gaining prestige very quickly, but refusal to compromise. So we could take the property by force, even less legitimacy, and lots more unrest. We probably won't get any unrest though, because we've got everything so close together that the communication efficiency is superb, meaning that we get very low, low unrest generally. I mean, I do want to lose 10 church influence. We can use it to gain stability. Oh no! Not if the court estate doesn't fire yet, though. That's not good. We need the court event to fire before we do this. Otherwise, the stability points we get probably won't actually apply. Okay, but the succession of Kramers Kazimierz III. Kazimierz III still has no male heir. Excuse me? Yes, he does. Kazimierz has found one in southern neighbour, King Louis the Great of Hungary. He will be the heir to the Polish crown. So they switch from Louis. Oh no, sorry, Louis is the one that the event was talking about. Okay, but Louis the Great doesn't have one. Is this the same Louis? Louis the Great d'Anjou, Louis the Great d'Anjou? I wonder if he takes power in Poland, do they get a personal union? So Mecklenburg Schwerin, I don't know. Schwerin wants an alliance. They're not titchy. They could be useful for helping us against Lübeck. How's Lübeck doing on their alliance network at the moment? They've got a couple of people in their trade league and an alliance with Hamburg. Yeah, to be expected. I think we take the alliance. I don't see a huge downside. Ooh, no we don't, no we don't, no we don't. Decline. Bohemia will take the alliance. That's fantastic. Why did they suddenly, I guess they just flip friendly. That's amazing. Bohemia's accepted. That's fantastic. I didn't look at merchants. We do now have 2 base merchants, which has gone up since the last patch. Currently transferring from the South Baltic, and Dynastia y Vistula. I guess Dynastia, I don't really know how to say that, is probably another river, because the Vistula is this river here. Maybe it's Dynastia. Where would it be? Where else is in this node? Maybe this one here? Or this one? I don't know. No, this is the... I mean, this part here is the Danube, so maybe it's this one. Anyhow, new decisions. Ask the Pope for a university charter. What is that? Since our nation lacks a university for educating clergy, we must ask the Pope to sanction the establishment, which allows us to leverage support from pious individuals and cheapening the process. There's no guarantee this will be granted, however. Though good paper relations and national piety will make it more likely. Pay no attention to the event on the right-hand side of the screen, Pope. We're really pious. Note if our request is denied, or for whatever reason we aren't, for whatever reason don't actually found the university, the initial investment is refunded. So we can spend 100 ducats, and then maybe the Pope helps us pay for a university, probably in the capital. We do want a university, so maybe we should work on improving papal relations for a bit. Though now we've got Bohemia on side, I really want to just keep improving with them. Yes, the state. Sorry, I said the court event. I meant the state. Has fired. That's excellent news. Magdeburg, who have you allied? These guys. That's inconvenient. But I think we could still might be able to beat them. We definitely want to consider that. The order, by the way, of these events is wrong. Of these decisions is wrong, in my opinion. It should be decisions you can take but don't want to right now, followed by important decisions that you can't take, followed by other decisions that you can't take. I'd much prefer that. We're not going to do automated construction, ever. Despotic monarchy? What are we? We are a feudal monarchy, which gives us land maintenance down, fort maintenance down, more income from vassals, unfortunately more monthly autonomy change, which is not good. And then everything below there is because of our international influence. Those aren't actually modifiers from our government. Those come from this, I believe. And you can't change via these. It costs 11,000. Is that 11,000, or is there another number hiding behind here? Admin points, which you can never have. So the way you change is via these decisions. So absolute monarchies are better. There, you see at the bottom, from the stability increase interval down, it's all the same modifiers, so those come from our international influence. So we could get instead more national manpower, more force limit, less unjustified demands, but 15% slower stability tick-ups. I think that might be worth it. But despotic monarchies do tend to be pretty good. We would have to get to 30 centralization. What? Oh no. Remember the HRE means it ticks down? That's bad. I think we should dismantle the HRE. Just because it's going to hurt my centralization, I think we should probably work on getting rid of the HRE. Okay. Let's take the church property by force. We've got to make some big plays early on. Now, I said I was going to explain stability. I'm going to do that very quickly. And then we're going to end the episode. So, the way stability works in this mod is you get a certain amount of points per year, which is 10 times your stability cost modifier, in our case 16.25, so we must have a 62.5% modifier, which is crazy good. Why do we have such a good modifier? 62.5. I love that there's a screen of all the modifiers now, by the way. It's so helpful. There is 60. Oh, it actually is 62.5. That's crazy. Low international influence makes us more stable, right? That's a kind of anti-blobbing mechanic, and to represent the fact that bigger empires are harder to manage. That makes sense. Our guy's calm, excellent vintage, imperial integrity, low education level helps with stability. Yeah, church displeasure. That's amazing. 62.5. Wow. So our stability is going to tick up. Yeah, too sweet. It takes 100 points to go from -3 to -2 to from -2 to -1, from -1 to 0. Then it takes 100, I think, 100 to go from 0 to 1, 200 to go from 1 to 2, 300 to go from 2 to 3. So you can't just boost stability anymore, which is good. It means stability is a constant, ongoing process rather than just a kind of number you can affect with mana. All right. Now we have a primitive development level. We're going to work on that. Shabby court level. Again, we're going to work on that. Substandard education. That's actually not terrible. We have no art power and no urban production. Sweet. Hopefully that stolen church land will give us quite a bit more... Oh, right, I was thinking, you know, that's funny. The, where have I put my estates on here? I'm sure there's somewhere here. No? Well, I can take out the colonial and trade and colonial map modes for this game. We're not gonna be using those. Let's put estates down here. Or have I put it somewhere else? No? Alright, well, let's have them down here. So we actually only have greater nobles and lesser nobles. Greater nobles and lesser nobles, pretty much the same, except the greater nobles basically have more rights, essentially. So generally, we want to try and demote our greater nobles into lesser nobles, and the lesser nobles constantly want to be promoted into greater nobles. So it's another kind of equilibrium thing. Okay, let's train up one more infantry. Let's... yeah, so army attrition is going down, so it's not going to get any better. Maybe I should request... We can't do this for 20 months. 3 shock, not bad. I was crossing my fingers. That's not bad. Right, so with this new guy training and the initial steps established, an alliance with Bohemia this early on, I think, is phenomenal. We're probably not going to set... I can't unset their province as a province of interest. We're probably not going to set provinces of interest, just so the AI doesn't know what we're thinking. But yeah, I think an alliance with Bohemia is going to be extremely valuable, because if you have a plus 100 opinion... Is it plus 100 opinion and an alliance? Or an alliance or 100 opinion? I'm not sure. They don't demand unlawful territory. Might be different in MEIOU&Taxes, though. I'm not sure. Okay, but that is the end of part 1. I know there's a lot of setup. We'll be doing more actual playing in the next episode. We might even make it through more than, what has it been? 2 months? 3 months? But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. My recording hotkey didn't work. Let's try that again. Bye-bye.